catchy.
What is going?
Short, but it's catchy.
It is. Gets me every time.
Right in the feels.
Ah, right in the feels.
So I was coming down to the basement from upstairs and caught a glimpse out the side window to the house at the neighbor's place. And it's one thing that annoys me, but shouldn't annoy me because it has nothing to do with me. But we're in March, and not only do they have their Christmas lights still up, they have them still on.
Outside, yeah. Drives me mental.
Like, at what point is it just you're telling to the world that you're lazy?
It's awful. There's actually there's a house that is just down from us on the same street, and February 21st we were going for a walk, and I remember the day because of this very reason. I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I remember it. They still had their Christmas tree lights on in their living room. Like that, like I just don't get it. Now, maybe there's a maybe there's maybe you celebrate Christmas at a later time. Like I know that there's like Chinese New Year and there's other things and whatnot that perhaps I'm overlooking, but it just seems that it's a bit the best before date, we'll just say, is long since passed.
Yeah. And it's a good thing while they have them on, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing it's obviously an artificial tree because that would be a dead tree by that point.
Yeah, it would be just thistles on the ground.
Or maybe it is dead. They just spray painted it green. Who's to say?
Who knows? Who knows?
I find more and more people are leaving them up longer and leaving them on longer.
So do you have Christmas,
where I live?
Do you have Christmas lights outside or on the garage and front entrance and whatnot at your place? No. Like, do you put them up at all, or they were up and they're down now?
No, we haven't really done that. Most of it was because we thought the kids are small; they're not going to be up at like late enough to see and appreciate. But now they're getting to the point where they like seeing them. So I think next year we probably will start doing it.
And you'll just leave them up all winter without turning them on. Like you'll keep them turned off after, say, New Year's Day, and then just
that was the thing I was thinking too. Like part of it could be just the type of winter you're having. We did not have a bad enough winter where you can't pull things down from like your gutter.
I don't even expect people to pull them down. It's just don't have them on.
Yeah, no, you timer and then you just turn that timer off.
Yeah. Like what? Like I don't know, bitch, what you're festive about right now, but there's not much in this world to be festive about.
And maybe that's what it is. Is just trying to think back to a simpler time.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
when there was so much joy and happiness in the world.
When gas was $1.29 a liter, or even less. Who knows? Just in time for everybody to get called back to work. Gas prices just shoot through.
Yeah, that's when the conspiracy theorists are like, is this all connected? Maybe.
So you read my post then.
I didn't want to lump you in with everybody else, but yeah, it is kind of an interesting timing to say the least.
Yeah. Just a bit more aware of what we're using the car for now. Like, do I really need to, I don't know, go out? Like, could I walk there? Or if I'm going to the corner store, is there anything else I can grab at the same time?
Yeah.
Or the grocery store.
And then, like, you see that people are trying to push, oh, maybe now it's time to invest in an electric vehicle. And I'm just like, again, to your point, bitch, where's this money coming from that we can just up and go buy a new car?
Yep. That ain't happening.
I might decide to get a bike and take that to work when it gets warmer.
That's right. How far are you from work? Could you bike?
Now that they open Campo, which is just off the subdivision we live in, it's just a straight shot to the building. So yeah, I could do it. It's like it's depending on lights, I can drive in 5, so I could probably get there in 15 on a bike.
Oh, that's doable for sure.
But it's the exercise and the physicality of it all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. If I'm going to get fit, then it's not worth it.
I used to work just off of Saint Laurent Road, which is, I would say, maybe a 10-minute drive from my house, so not far. And I could bike. It would be a long bike. It would be like an hour ride or an hour long bike ride, I would say. But we moved to Richmond Road, and we moved in 3 days before they shut down everything for COVID. And I haven't been back since. Don't know my locker number. Can't remember my code. Directions to get there is a bit spotty. But yeah, we got there, and 3 days later, like, everybody go home. Don't come back. Yeah.
Ever.
So
yeah, there's a lot of people saying too, what you could in theory start seeing now is salaries decrease because people are working from home. I don't understand that per se, because wouldn't companies be technically saving money, or are they figuring that's all encompassing? If you're not coming into the building that we're paying for, then we're not paying you.
that's not shouldn't be the employee's fault. And I would argue that employees are more productive working from home. I know I am. The hour and 10 minutes to get to work, and that's with good traffic, and the hour and 10 minutes to come home. And Jade works evenings a couple of nights, so certain days I have to make sure that I'm in the east end of town in order to pick them up from school. But all that time driving, I could have been at home, productive, on meetings, checking emails earlier, setting my day earlier, working longer, which I'm doing now. So yeah, I don't know if they would have a leg to stand on to decrease your pay. And if anything, I would argue, well, I'm actually doing more work for you whilst in my office. So anyway.
I wonder if they're factoring in, if they're loaning equipment, it's like a deduction or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't read the article per se, but I did hear that there was conversations of that being a possibility. Everyone wants to save a penny.
Yeah, especially nowadays with inflation
or a nickel,
and whatnot.
Since there's no pennies.
Yeah, nickels, dimes, $2 bills, $1 bills.
I remember when the $2 bills went the way of the dodo.
Was that mid-90s, I would say?
Yeah.
And the Toonie, and I was like, that's such a stupid name, the Toonie. It's after the Looney.
It still is a stupid name.
It is, yeah. Like, how many, like, the butt of jokes that Canadians were a part of because of that naming convention, and even the Looney.
Yeah, there's some good callbacks to some stand-ups about that. Like, how do you take a financial crisis seriously with your currency's the Looney?
Maybe that's the whole thing, is we just, deflection. So I ended up going with the boys to Disney on Ice yesterday, and I believe you were there. Were you at the 11 o'clock show?
We were.
Okay. So
I could not get over the amount of people that were there.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Like, I would say, looking at the crowd, they for those listening and watching, they cut off, what would you say, like a third of the bowl, I guess, for like their backstage.
Yeah, it's I think just a skosh past the center ice area.
Yeah. So I'd say, like, my in-laws came over for dinner last night, and I'd say that there was probably about 9,000 to 10,000 that were there yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
Anyway, so the were you there right for the start of it, or did you miss? Okay, so when they're introducing all the skaters, like the very beginning, well, first skater that they introduced does like a pirouette and then falls. I was like, oh god, no, this is not
good money spent.
Yeah, this is not going to go well. And then fortunately there was only one other person that fell, and she caught herself pretty easily. But then they started doing those things with like the satin, ropes and like whatnot, and it was.
I don't know why Ariel acts, not Ariel as in the mermaid, but Ariel as in acrobatics, is involved in ice skating. Like, going up on ropes, going up on those like satin sheet things.
And then they've never watched wrestling.
Like was it the guy freaking giving it to the rope too. Like he was all in it, just making that woman spin. Like
it's not fast enough. Let's just go around.
No, yeah, he's
and
just two-handed.
Like in fairness, there were certain like I know with the rope, she had a safety belt on and she kept it on. So there were certain instances where they were safe, like they had some protection if they were to fall. But then there were others where with that satin sheet, it looked as though she just grabbed it and like did like a little twist around the arm, and probably going up, I would say maybe like 2 stories.
Yeah.
And then just feet, and just swinging around. I was like, oh, that's not good.
And on skates, so like if she fell and like on the guy below, like just slice that guy in half.
And then a lot of kids, just pandemonium. It would not have been good. Not have been good. But the boys enjoyed it. So,
did you shell out like $40 per kid for those blow up wands?
No, absolutely not. Because I'm smarter than most people, and know that a week from today, March 12th. Those kids that have it will have forgotten about it, and will likely have moved on to the next thing. So
yeah, my kids were, can we get one? Can we get one? And I'm like, I'm gonna go get some food, and then I come back and Mom said to ask you if we can get one. I'm like, oh, the line's too long. I'll keep checking back, and just never did.
Were they
like bags of dollar store glow sticks that they could make their own wands?
Were they $40? I didn't happen.
I heard someone say in the row in front did you see those things? I think they're like $40. So I'm gonna just say based on that.
So there was a few moments within the show where I was bored of the on ice product. So I was like, what can I do? Just looking around, and I decided that I would count how many of those lights that I could see in the crowd, literally from third deck all the way down.
So we're doing some math here.
Yeah, and I stopped at about 300 or so, and I was putting them at about $20-$25 per. But if they're 40,
say they're we'll go 25.
And there's about 300 I counted, and so
it's about $7,500.
Yeah, it's not bad for one show, and then you figured they got the other show, the French show, and then it was there for 3 or 4 days.
$12,000 for at $40.
Probably cost them $1.30 to make.
Yes, Thursday, Friday, 3 shows on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, so 7 shows.
Yeah,
about $84,000 just on that.
Boom, roasted.
And then not even counting the fact that they pull the popcorn from the concessions and sell it at a premium in their own concession. At those
really?
Yeah, you can't get popcorn at the regular venue concessions.
No, you just gotta pay an extra $3 or $4.
Yeah, because it comes with like a hat or something with it, like
for
an Olaf or whatever.
For sure, yeah, probably like Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah,
around the bag, for sure. Yeah,
Disney knows the game and they play it well.
They run a tight ship though. You can see it from from the products that they have like on the ice, like Disney on Ice, and like the cruises and the resorts and whatnot. Like I've never heard a bad thing about Disney in terms of the customer experience, right? So
no, the back end stuff you hear more of the horror stories.
That's right. Yeah, get to work.
Yeah, no benefits. You're working hourly.
Yeah,
you put on that big mouse head and work in 200-degree weather 8 hours a day with no breaks.
Get the fuck out there. 12-hour shift. Yeah. I don't care if you're sick. Anyway.
And then they unionize, and then hold on.
Crazy.
Let's walk this back.
Yeah. Hold on a second. And then what else did we do? We watched Big on Friday night with the boys. Their first time seeing it.
Watched that a long time.
Oh, so good. It's so good. There's a few questionable things that came out of the movie afterwards, like when he's walking back after reverting back to being a kid, and Susan drops him off, and she slept with him, but then it's like, okay, like what is going on here? Like that's a plot hole that is not good.
Is it statutory rape in
that
regard? It's like saying, I thought she was 18. That doesn't fly anymore.
But aside from that, like, Oliver's now all about like, I want to design toys and like this is what I want to do. And because I buy the Marvel Legends and they do those reveals online, he's all about toy designing.
Yeah.
So we watched that movie and now he's all gung ho on what courses he needs to take. And I'm like, okay, you're 10 years old. Like, it's great that you have this
he starts
motivation.
asking for a 3D printer to print his own toys, then you got to look at it.
Then we gotta worry about it. But man, Tom Hanks, he's an goddamn American treasure. I tell you, everything he does. Like,
I think that's when COVID became a little bit real for everybody when they heard that Tom Hanks had it.
Yeah, he's just bulletproof. Like, he's tremendous talent. Every movie he's done has been very heartwarming or touching, or had a good story to it. And then he's also been with his wife for like 30 years, and that's something that you don't hear about in Hollywood. If you hear, if you see of a couple that's been together for 5 or 7 years, like, that's great in Hollywood. And here they've been together for ever. It's just everything about him is great. Even
his worst movie is not terrible.
What would you say his worst movie is?
I know a lot of people didn't like The Terminal. I liked it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I've only seen it once.
It didn't bother me. Like, it's a Spielberg movie, so it's gonna be decent enough. Like, if it's not like the best thing, there's something you're like, visually it's gonna probably, like, I've seen a lot. I haven't seen the new West Side Story yet, but I've seen a lot of people posting clips of like some
Is he in
work.
that?
No, but Spielberg directed.
Oh, okay.
A lot of like camera work and stuff like that, and it looks gorgeous. Like, the cinematography looks amazing. So I guess that's another pass for The Terminal. But I didn't mind. It's quirky, obviously, because he's playing
a Russian, isn't he, or like
I think it's like one of those maybe
Eastern European or
made up countries for the purposes of the flick.
All right, like Latveria or something like that.
And
Sokovia.
Some people don't like That Thing You Do. I think that's a great movie.
That's a good one. Yep. Catch Me If You Can is another good one. Castaway.
Best joke ever in a movie is in Catch Me If You Can.
Which is?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself.
That's language.
With like the Massachusetts type accent. Knock knock.
Knock knock.
That's a good movie.
We watched.
Now I have to watch Catch Me If You Can again.
Yeah. Everything he's done, he's been tremendous in. Speaking of like Providence,
Money Pit.
Oh, Money Pit. Classic. Like when he gets caught in the rug.
Yeah.
Or when the tub falls through and he just laughs.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
This is classic. Like, Turner and Hooch is a good family one. Throw that on for the kids.
Has he ever played a villain?
I think, if I remember correctly, his like most villain role is in Road to Perdition, but he's still the lead. So he's like a bad character, but he's not really the villain in it.
Haven't seen it. That's based on a comic too, I believe, or a graphic novel.
Yep.
So he's.
I don't think he's ever been full out bad guy. I don't think people would buy it.
No, how could you? Yeah, I'm just quickly scrolling on IMDb and not one comes up. But to your point, like, you wouldn't believe that. Like, okay. Like Captain Phillips, no. Anyway. Yeah, great movie.
Was another one you probably wouldn't buy as a villain, really, is like a Robert Downey Jr. at this point now too.
Yeah.
He's like, I think the one that I think did the best was like a Robin Williams, like the funny guy that he did a couple of villainous roles.
Oh, the 1 hour photo, wasn't it?
1 Hour Photo, Insomnia.
Who's in that with him?
Pacino.
Insomnia.
Yeah, Pacino's a cop. He's investigating murders, I think, in Alaska, and it's during the time where there's no like nighttime. It's like 24/7 daylight up there. So he can't sleep, thus Insomnia. Chris Nolan directed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to add it to the queue.
So another big event was Parker's birthday.
Oh, yes.
So there's his cake. His superhero party. So he had superhero
that's
cake.
amazing.
He needed to have cover everything, Justice League and Marvel Comics. So we have the happy 7th birthday. So you got Justice League on top. You got the Marvel characters along the side, which they charged extra for. Thank you, fine folks at Independent Grocer. Because like, it'll be a couple bucks more, $10.
That Justice League looks like it's pulled from not Brian Hitch, but
yeah, I didn't recognize the like the emblem on the Batman, so I knew it was post 52. Wasn't the maybe Rebirth or something?
Yeah, no, I think it was before that. And then who do we got in the middle there? Thor. Is that Daredevil?
Daredevil,
Sick.
Black Widow, classic Iron Man, Thor, and Daredevil again.
Amazing.
The Nova,
Falcon's
arm there, Hulk.
Is that Spidey? Between
it is
Nova.
Spidey.
So you got this. You got this at Superstore.
Yeah, they do photo cakes now, rather than like the little figurines, like like this sitting on top.
So you provide them the JPEG?
No, it was in there.
Oh, just their stock. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I had a good chuckle at this. So this was from our door cam. So I was flipping as the buddies and just like, report of a break-in. Suspects picked up on security footage. Just imagine this like at your not if I didn't know this was happening and I wasn't at home and I got this alert on my phone, I don't know what would be going on.
I feel like there's a Florida man in here somewhere.
Yeah, like Batman and Spider-Man show up at your house.
That's awesome.
There must have been some sort of like fetish party or something that I didn't know was aware of. But so those were the two fine folks, and then they corralled the children's in our dining room area, and there you go.
Look at the abs on Spider-Man.
Yeah, he with great kegs of beer comes great hangovers. Yeah, he good on that guy for putting that outfit on. It was not yeah, it's that form fitting is not it's not kind.
It's
but he had a blast.
It's a game changer though, putting the ability to have photos like that on a cake. Because we might do something like that for Arlo. His birthday is this Friday, but we're having a birthday party for him at the end of the month. And he really loves Iron Man, and specifically like Iron Spider-Man. He loves Iron Spider-Man. But if we can do like cupcakes with pictures of the Iron Spider-Man on them, he would just lose his shit.
Yeah, he just really needed to converse with the folks at the bakery.
And how like, did you put the order in like at the beginning of the week or a couple of weeks ago or a few days prior?
No, when did we go? I think on the Monday, and I just said they asked what date, and I said by Friday. But I typically don't. That was
I typically wait till the last minute.
No, I typically don't go that late. Because it's usually you're not doing a photo cake, you're doing the ones with the figurines, so you want to make sure they have it in stock, so you want to make sure that then you can have it set aside. But I think that it's 48 hours or notice or something like that.
How many?
I called to have it done by 4:00 on Friday, and it was done by noon. So like, I just throw it in the freezer.
And how many of his friends did he have over?
I think 13. Here's a good number.
Jesus, that's a lot.
A lot of little guys.
That's a loud
first graders.
House.
A lot of first graders. That's a class.
That is a class. That is a class. But your wife, she's a teacher, so she
for doing it. And my stepmom was helping while I took the girls to my grandma's for the afternoon.
So did he? What's Parker into these days? Is he into like superheroes or specifically anything? Or
He's kind of at the age now where he's all over the map. So
okay,
he'll say he's into one thing, and then he'll see something else. Then he's into that now. But his main focus is hockey. The next is superheroes,
nice.
and he's branching into Lego because he had Duplo for the longest time. So that's like the bigger.
Oh yeah, he's
stuff.
probably graduated from Duplo now.
Yeah, so he's now wants any and all Lego sets. Thankfully, I'm one that was playing with that stuff well into my 30s, so I have sets galore for him to play with.
Yeah.
So he got a bunch of that from his school chums.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Putting that together and playing with it the last few days.
Oh, busy weekend for you then.
Yeah, and now we are paying for it with overtired children.
Yeah, see, that's the risk, right? Is you get them all hopped up on sugar, you let them stay up late, you have all their friends around, they're running around like banshees, and then you pay for it for the next 48 hours prior. Now I'm not looking forward to this weekend. Plus, we lose an hour this weekend.
March break's coming up too. So, that's right.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing with kids. Because was it the? Someone said by next weekend, sunset is after 7, and then a week after that's officially spring. So I'm like, that's why it's after 7 because.
Because you spring forward and lose sleep. It's like a sick and twisted thing because, like, on one hand, it's very exciting that it'll stay later out longer, but then on the other hand, you lose an hour. Like, why is it on the Sunday?
Yeah,
just do it.
Should be the Saturday.
Should do it the Friday night at midnight, and then we get the whole weekend. Like, I don't understand. It's like they're trying to fuck with us.
No, put your kids to bed for them earlier than what they're used to, but internally it's.
Really I tell you, like the daylight savings person that created that clearly spent too much time farming and not enough time making kids because he did not or she did not consider the fact that it wreaks havoc if you have young.
Yeah, ones. I've never found a clear reason for that. I've looked up, why was this, instituted or not? Because a lot of people said farmers, a lot of people said about conserving energy, and there's been no concise. Because the farmers will go out from dusk till dawn because that's what they do, or dawn until dusk. If the sun's up and it's good farming conditions, they're out there.
Yeah,
farming. They don't need a light.
And maybe not nowadays, but then when they, I don't know. At the risk of not sounding like a moron, I'm going to say I don't know. Speaking of moron, though, did you see that Wheel of Fortune video from last Tuesday that went viral?
Yes. I would like to know how you could put a feather in your lap.
Or
as being
on
an
a
expression.
Map.
Or on a map.
Or in your nap.
I guess so the speculation was he's trying to think feather in your dad.
Oh, it's so it's so bad. And poor guy, like the one guy that's to her right. He went bankrupt and then he lost the turn. And so here he is, like he's, and then I think he picked the P and then he went bankrupt or something like that. Like, anyway, he missed out on like 2 or 3 times where he knew damn well what that was. Do you think it's nerves though? Like,
I do, especially when, and the thing I find funny about it now is we're getting to the point now, and I don't know if it's because we're in a pandemic and there's less people that are going out and doing things, but we're starting to get to the times where the people on the game shows really don't know what's going on with the game shows. Especially if you watch any of the more recent Price is Right. So there's a lot of people on there who are clearly there because they know they can win money or win prizes, but they don't know the show. So they don't know how to play the game.
How do you not know Price is Right?
I don't know, but there's a lot of people on there I'm noticing that don't seem to know what's going on. And I think like to your point with nerves and stuff, I think possibly that's where we're getting with that. Because there's a lot of people calling letters that have been called, and I've never saw that before in like the classic Wheel of Fortunes. We watched one because for some reason, my 9-year-old loves Wheel of Fortune now.
Oh,
she's
Oliver and
watching
I
all the
watch
time.
it almost every night.
So she's picking that as the shows she wants to watch before bed. And we were watching one the night, and a couple of times they're guessing letters that were already called.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
Or they've got letters that just like you've got 2 letters left in your word, and it's like a Z or a Z or like a Q. Like, and it's just
Pull that
why? Out. Like, why are you saying this? Stop. Stop.
I think it's Scrabble, right? You get the more obscure the letter, the more money they're going to win.
We watched. There was a celebrity one a week or two ago, and it was Tatiana Ali, I think her last name is, from Fresh Prince. Yep. And man, she was like, boom, boom, boom. Like, she'd guess a couple of letters, or there was a few letters on the board, and like there was not even 20% of the phrase was filled up, and she was just banging them off and getting them, and she won I think she won the final one too. She's very, very well versed in how the game is played, I guess you could say.
I used to think I could spell well, but now it's taking me longer than I think it used to when I was a kid.
Yeah. I would like to try it though. Wheel of Fortune. See old Patty Sajak.
I'm surprised because we seem to take every game show now and throw Canada at the end of it. While there wasn't ever a Wheel of Fortune Canada.
Yeah, there wasn't, eh?
Like we've had like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Canada. Now we have Family Feud Canada.
Price is Right, eh?
Yeah, we haven't had a Price is Right Canada, but they have done road shows where it's come to Canada.
Yes, that's right. They did. Yeah. Was that when Drew Carey was hosting? Yeah, probably. When they're like on location in Canada, not like at a mall, but in a country on location. We're on location in Canada.
Yeah, they used to do that all the time. Obviously now they don't travel much, or even I find their prizes trips are not as far or as lucrative as they once were.
The best game show that I've ever watched ever was a little show called Video Power from when I was 8, 9, 10, we'll say.
Okay.
And it was kids were playing video games, and whatever game it was that week, you had to get the highest score and whatnot. But if you won, you put on a Velcro vest and like Velcro arms and legs and whatnot. And you had, I want to say, a minute or 90 seconds to run through all of the halls and grab whatever games you could grab and stick them on your person. And then whatever games you ended up with, you got to keep. And I just remember like they had every system. It was like Sega Genesis and Nintendo and whatever ones, Neo Geo at the time. But you had your minute and a half to go up and down the halls and just grab all of the games that you could and just stick them to your body. And it was amazing. And I'm so jealous. They'd walk out with like 50 games.
Ugh. I've always seen those things. The kids get like the shopping spree at like Toys R Us, whatever you can fit in the cart in like 30 minutes, whatever. That would be the end all be all for me. Another game that I liked was Video and Arcade Top 10.
Is this not the one? No, this is different. But it's this guy. This guy was the host of Video Power.
Maybe they changed the name of it after the fact or something.
Or he found his niche.
Maybe.
Yeah. I totally remember that.
That was like the best for me. Just watching the kids. I think that really all it was just showing the top 10 video games at the time. I don't think it was actually a game show. So the kids are just sitting there playing the games, and they would just show upcoming games and talk to people in the industry and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my jam.
Oh, it's so awesome. So awesome. I wonder if they have games like that nowadays for kids.
It's called YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And Fortnite. Twitch. Well, probably mainly Twitch.
Oh, I've heard of Twitch. I've never tried it though. But it's just, I guess, a streaming platform. I sound like an old man. What is this? What is this Twitch? While I drink my decaf
But Twitch
coffee.
is the kids call it, with the on the interwebs and the
you
the
Twitchers out there. You Twitchers out there. Yeah.
It's too old.
Oh,
All the
days
good
of
stuff
youth.
is gone. That and like all the video game like magazines.
Nintendo Power was one, wasn't it?
Yep.
What was the? There was a documentary. Yeah, I think it was a documentary on Netflix about video games, and they were talking about how Nintendo would have, like, you could call into this number, and it was obviously you paid to call in, but then you'd have these gaming advisors or experts that would tell you how to like get past whatever it was that you were
Oh, really?
that you're trying to beat. Yeah, so they would have like these tomes of, tips and tricks and whatnot, how to get through that whatever level or was, or beat that villain that you had to beat. And it was like a full-on job, and kids would just call in and be like, oh, I'm having trouble on level 13. Now they have YouTube, but back then they didn't.
Yeah, I used to have that, and then like they would have like the companion books that would have like all the secrets and stuff in it too. So you would buy, let's say, like Mario 64, but then there would be the companion book that would have like, oh, you go to here to find this star, or in order to get this star, it's located on this portion of the level. And
Yeah, like big old walkthroughs, right?
yeah, walkthroughs before there was online walkthroughs.
Oh, crazy.
Like that, and then like the Game Shark for all the cheats. Like
Game Shark, that rings a bell.
Yeah, so it was like this cartridge that you would like put into your system and put like the game into said cartridge, and that would activate all the cheats.
Get Out, yes, I totally remember that. That was legal, eh? That was completely.
Oh, of course, they sold it in the store. It was in the same section as the games. So
that's crazy.
Legal. I don't know how legal, but in some.
When was the last time you had watched The Wizard with Frederick Savage?
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched it probably, I'd say.
Probably was on VHS.
We were in this house, so it's no more than 2 years ago. And I just remember even watching it as a kid, like the big reveal of Super Mario Brothers 3, right? And it was like, holy shit, he's got the raccoon tail. Like, what the hell, man? Mind blowing.
I was I have watched Super Mario Brothers more times than I've seen The Wizard.
Oh, with Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
And was it John Leguizamo?
Yeah, he was Luigi.
That's right.
Neither one of those guys are Italian. Yeah, get the Latino to play the Italian.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Parker he's still into Mario, but he was way into Mario like a year ago.
I'm sure it holds up.
Oh, yeah, it was shitty then. It's just as shitty now.
the shittiness holds up.
Yeah, that's about it. Nothing else holds up. Just the shittiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he watched it. For him, it was great. Like, it's Mario, and Mario's real.
Was Bowser in it?
Yeah, Dennis Hopper was King Koopa, but it was King Koopa at the time.
Right. Yes, Dennis Hopper, and he was like humanoid, right? But he had like little
things. Yeah, it wasn't until like the end of the third act
did he
turn into what we know as Bowser.
And who played the princess?
Oh shit! I know it's Samantha something. I can't remember her last name.
It's pretty. Dennis Hopper, Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, like, they're not D-list actors in Hollywood.
No, not.
And I would say that was probably coming off of Dennis
93.
Hopper's high of Speed, or at least like leading into Speed.
Samantha Mathis, that's who it was.
Samantha Mathis.
Yeah,
doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I say if you.
What year? What year is it from?
93.
Okay, so yeah.
See, what is Dennis Hopper coming off of around 93?
It's got to be Speed's got to be in there, or Speed might be 95. I'm going to say Speed was 95.
Oh, True Romance was around the same time. Okay. Speed was 94.
94.
Waterworld 95.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such, I really like
Waterworld, but it's not
No,
all that
it's not.
bad.
I think it's just it's a product of very, 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 very bad luck.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you expect when you're trying to film a movie on the ocean, where you have no control over? You're building these multi-million-dollar sets on the ocean. What do you think's going to happen?
And they still, well, at least when I was there in Universal Studios in Hollywood, have a Waterworld attraction there.
They
It's
still
live
have it?
stunt. It's a live stunt show. Yeah. So this would have been 2013.
The concept of the story is great. I mean, it's a very intriguing concept for a story, but
especially considering the polar ice caps are melting.
yeah, exactly. Like, gather around, kids. See our future in 100 years.
It's just the man with gills. That's where you kind of lost them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the floating cities.
And
where do they get all that gas to power the Sea-Doos? And
they had drums of oil.
Oh, that's right. They did at the bottom, didn't they?
Yeah. So like, it's legit like the world we're living in now almost.
Crazy.
Oil is a hot commodity.
Yeah. Waterworld.
Yeah.
And the land that they found, was it not Mount Everest?
I think so. Like that would be the highest point of the
That would make sense,
so,
wouldn't it?
So everything else is flooded, then that's what it would be. And then obviously it's not wintry up there anymore because everything's warmer.
It was Mont Tremblant.
Yeah. That's exactly where it was. It's Waterworld Canada.
What? Waterworld Canada.
That's what I'm saying. We have to have our own version, and we got to slap Canada at the end.
The actor would have been John, the guy from Jonavision, and he was in Trailer Park Boys. He could be the man with gills. What was his last name? John. People are screaming. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm terrible with the last names, as you can tell by forgetting
that guy. It's that guy.
You know him. He's the guy.
The guy. That's right. The guy.
The guy is the guy. You know the guy.
When are you planning to see Batman?
I was just gonna bring that up because I had a little nostalgic
okay.
ad break for you.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through. Introducing McDonald's Superhero Burger. Tomatoes, crisp lettuce, the great taste of 2 cheeses melted over 3 beef patties on a superhero bun. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month. Everyone's making a break for.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
It's not as good as, say, the calzone or whatever that they're doing for the Batman.
I have an idea. Let's put the patties sideways.
The shape of a bat.
The shape of a bat, yeah.
I don't remember that commercial as much. I do remember the line in the movie. But
that line was in the movie too. Oh, yeah. So bad.
I distinctly remember, though, popping on Batman from '89, the VHS, and having that ad for Diet Coke at the beginning.
Yeah, vaguely.
But I don't remember that. I don't remember any of the tie-in commercials for any of the subsequent movies, but I just remember that one.
Yeah,
it had, like the Coke can sweating, and it had like the bat cape fluttering at the end of it.
I was playing poker a couple weeks ago at my neighbor's house, and one of the guys had an old little glass, like Batman '89 glass, that he brought over to mix his drink with. And I was like, I totally remember that from when I was a kid. It's funny, you see all these little you see commercials or products or whatever, and it's you haven't thought about it in 25, 30 years, if not longer, and then as soon as you see it, it's just a flood of memories come back, you know?
Yeah, like Parker's got a little Adam West Batmobile Hot Wheels.
That's awesome.
So I took that from my desk. He's not playing with that.
No. It's like I took this from this A-Team.
Nice.
And Arlo really wanted to play with it. I'm like, you can't do that, but sorry, not till you're older. Not till you can handle toys.
Yeah.
properly.
Just some things you don't touch.
That's right. As I would say when we're in the store, use your eyes, not your hands.
It's hard to get kids not to touch stuff. Like I told you, they just started to play with Lego. So here's a nice built, complete set of like this Batmobile, and within 2 minutes, the roof is off, the flames taken out of the back,
Sure.
missing a door.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Well, I wanted to see if it came off.
He got into a car accident.
Yeah.
He ran into a wall.
Yeah. Now they're swapping insurance info.
That's right.
That's what kids do with Legos. No, I haven't seen the Batman yet. I'm not entirely sure when I will be venturing out. I've heard, and by heard, I've seen it's getting good reviews, as we all would have expected it to get.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in a world where they're getting drive-through. Like
I'm seeing a lot of emphasis on the fact that it's 3 hours long, which
so
I mean, no way home.
It feels like 3 hours in.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not. Endgame was, I'd say, close to 3 hours. No Way Home was definitely close to 3 hours.
Yeah, but I think there's a good ride in those movies. I feel as though if this one's going to be like dark and brooding, and as they say, a very much a detective movie, it might feel like it's 3 hours.
I saw a tweet earlier today, and it was, this might be the best sequence of comic book movies ever, because we started off the year with a Spider-Man movie that was very nostalgic over the 20-year legacy of Spider-Man films, and then we're moving into a 3-hour epic Batman noir film, and then we're moving into a Doctor Strange Multiverse of the Madness directed by Sam Raimi. It's like, it's a good point. Like, if if Batman's holding up, which, to your point, looks as though it is, but if Doctor Strange holds up to the hype, then that could be a pretty good run, I would say.
I feel like we're getting like good runs, and then it's going to be like capped off with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Then we get a good run again, and then capped off with Ant-Man 2.
Maybe that's why they made the Eternals movie.
And then Quantumanium's coming out.
Maybe that's why they made the Eternals, just to like bring us back down to earth. Meanwhile, like, I liked the Eternals. I had no problems with it, but a lot of people didn't like it, and they shat on it. Maybe they did that on purpose. We're going to bring them down back to earth with the Eternals, and then we're going to hype them back up.
Yep. We got Daredevil, then we got Jessica Jones, we got Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
We're going again.
Yeah. I couldn't get past like the first 4 or 5. Well, I mean, that's your whipping boy, isn't it? Or was?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Disney whipped on them too.
Yeah.
They do a promo for all the shows we're bringing, but they don't include Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Even they know.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try and see it though. Maybe not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. I'm going to try and see it.
I did see somewhere someone. You never know what's official anymore, but there was an HBO Max listing saying that it's going to be on HBO Max April 19th. So just over.
What's this? No Way Home?
No, Batman.
Really?
So like in a month, soon? It's already going to be out of theaters.
That doesn't make sense.
Allegedly. That's what I saw. So I'm like, okay, well, pencil this down.
What are your thoughts on the, like the whole philosophy of like dual releasing, like both in theaters?
Oh, the day and date, as they call it in the business.
Is that what they call it, day and date? What's your thought on that?
Like it definitely has its merits. I think, especially for the ones that I think would probably be the best served for that, are going to be either the like award contender ones where you're not going to rush out to see anyway. Mm-hmm. So why not just spend the $20, watch it at home?
Mm-hmm.
And kids releases.
Yeah.
Family movies.
Yeah.
So you get nothing else going on the weekend. This just opened. Well, I can watch it at home for $30. It's going to cost me more to go to the theater.
And kids will be attentive when they're watching it. Yeah, I didn't consider the award winners, and that's a good point, but I definitely thought of the kids movies as that being a good option. But I feel like Batman's and Spider-Man's action movies and whatnot, it's going to be very hard because it's already very hard to keep your attention, I would say, watching a movie from home.
Mhm.
But we were gonna go and take Arlo to see that movie Turning Red. I think it is, because it opens on Friday.
Yep.
Um,
And on
but
Disney Plus.
it's only being released on Disney Plus. It's
Oh,
not.
only Disney Plus.
I checked Landmark. I checked Silver City.
Oh, that's right. It's the Pixar one.
And
That's right.
it's not. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're not going to go see it. But I wonder if it would be free. I haven't checked if it's free or if you still have to rent it. But
No, yeah, the Pixar Turning Red it's just launched on Disney Plus. It's not a premiere access or whatever it is. So it's just with your subscription. So you get that going for you.
The Boys, I think it's like a cartoon spinoff or whatnot for The Boys, came out on Prime Video on Monday or for last Friday.
That. It looks like it's one of those. Is it like an anthology type series? Because it looks like every episode is a different visual style of animation.
Did you watch The Boys?
I have The Boys, yeah, not the cartoon. I love The Boys. I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy it or not, but I really did.
Yeah, even Jade loves it. It's a unique story in that, like, what if it really did exist in a real world? Like, that's what would happen, right? The corruption of heroes, manipulation, the secrets behind closed doors, all of that, I think would be definitely something that would happen if it were in the real world. So
yeah, and then like using the superheroes, try to not as like the broker piece, but as to be like a figurehead for the military.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll have to watch that.
Which is seems what they're trying to do in Superman. You're not watching Superman and Lois still, eh? You behind on that?
Behind, yeah.
Yeah, that's
you're up to date on it?
I am, yeah. That's like one of the focal points this season is Superman's allegiance to the US.
Are there any like decent cameos? I mean, I know that his Rogues Gallery is shit to begin with, but is there anything that's worthwhile in picking it back up?
And you're gonna know.
I just need a yes.
Yes
or no. Okay.
I like they have a take on a certain villain this season that you thought was going one way. They swerved you a different way, and it's interesting.
It's a Parasite, Lobo, Brainiac, Lex Luthor.
No Luthor yet. No.
Yeah, because he's never been used.
Luthor, no, never. I did like Brainiac in the Krypton series, though.
Never saw Krypton.
No, he was.
But it was more like
comics accurate looking, and
yeah, it was the English guy that played him, I think, right?
Yeah,
I can't remember who, but
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that series. Well, the first season, second season, not so much.
It was only 2 seasons, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and I heard that it was very adult orientated in terms of the storyline and content, right? So
yeah,
not for your kids.
No.
I'll give it a go. I saw it streaming. It's streaming on one of the fucking platforms.
Oh, I enjoy Superman and Lois. I like maybe it's because I'm older and I have children. Watching him having to deal with being Superman and his kids is it's a good mix.
I'm assuming, if it hasn't happened already, that Jonathan's gonna wear the suit up, as it were, and help his old man.
It has not happened yet, so
don't
worry.
Okay. Interesting. Why have they not taken a stab at Green Lantern as a TV series? Like,
they're supposed to on HBO Max.
I know. It's just it's
piss off. It's the core, though. It's not Hal Jordan.
Just do the core, yeah. Like I feel like you could. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna run out of options with this Arrowverse before they finally have to face the facts.
I think
and be
the
like,
Arrowverse is they're all gonna get picked off like one at a time now, and
you mean
they'll
like
end with the Flash will be the last one. Yeah, last one standing. I don't think they'll cancel. I think they've run their course. They'll just end them, and then everything is gonna be on HBO Max.
They've done Arrow. They've done Supergirl. They've done Flash. They've done Black Lightning.
Yep.
Superman and Lois.
Yep.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Batwoman.
Is that Batwoman?
Yep.
And it's the 7.
Yeah, Gotham Knights is supposed to be coming possibly.
Okay, like Renee Montoya, I guess, would be the focal point of that.
No, it's gonna be, and I read this too. It's kids of villains. So they're just taking the title, really.
Kids of the Villains.
Yeah, it's the CW, man.
Oh, and they're gonna have. It's gonna be shit. I can already tell because you know what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like they're gonna be in high school or they're gonna be at their base and like John Joker's son really likes Haley, Harley's daughter, but they can't because they're like cousins and they grew up together, but yet he loves her. And Penny, Poison Ivy's daughter, is really, really wants to get together with Clayton, which is Clayface's son, but it's gonna be stupid.
Of course it's gonna be stupid.
It's gonna be stupid.
It's the CW, man. But back to the Batman.
Yeah, we digress a little bit.
So Matt Reeves at the time they were talking they're going to do a spin-off series of that movie based on the GCPD on HBO Max.
Okay.
Which I thought they already did that. It's called Gotham.
Yeah. But it was Fox, and I mean you could really turn that into a gritty TV series. But
it looks like, according to Matt Reeves, is that they are not doing that anymore. It's kind of morphed into an Arkham Asylum series.
Yeah, I could be down with that.
I just wonder if they'll use a lot from Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum book. Is something like that happening? I like that book. I was not a fan of the art so much.
Who drew it again?
I think I have it right.
Was it Jay Lee? No, it wasn't Jay Lee.
Let's see. There she is.
I like the idea.
It was Dave McKean.
Oh yeah, Dave McCowan or McKeown.
McKean.
Oh.
It's a little harsh, a little rough around the edges. Some of the imagery, but the story's good.
See, here's the thing, though. If they do that, which I'd be all for, is they've got to jump in with both feet and commit, or don't bother doing it. And what I mean by that is, go all in on the craziness, go all in on the darkness, go all in on the twistedness, and not be CW about it, if that makes sense.
Well, it's on HBO, so
yeah, I guess that's true. I think we're safe there. Yeah. That's very interesting. Did he say as to why he decided to do, or why it was decided?
No, I think it was just through conversations and development. I guess they just shifted it more that way, or maybe there's a possibility that you're only going to go so far with the movies. That maybe this is another way of getting some of the other villains in it.
You know what? You could really position Arkham Asylum as both a precursor to the DCEU or whatever that universe is going to be called, or a post-cursor, if that's a word, whereby you have all these villains and you come to know of them through the TV show on HBO Max, but then there might be a movie on like Killer Croc about how he became Killer Croc, or if someone escapes, then you can spin it into a solo movie about Batman catching him when he's out.
Yeah.
Or when she's out. So like there's good potential there for it to like do what Marvel did, in the sense where like they're setting up the characters, and it's good because Batman has the rogues gallery to support multiple movies and efforts and shows and whatnot, unlike Superman.
Just digging on Superman.
Yeah, I love Superman. Don't get me wrong, but
Bizarro and Brainiac.
Yeah, Bizarro's good. I like Bizarro. But yeah, that would be interesting. I checked on the I forget what the name of the app is, but there's an app that you can actually see if there's any post-credit trailers or whatnot.
Oh, there's an app? I know there's a website, Media Stinger.
Yeah.
Shout out to Media Stinger.
Are they a sponsor yet? It's called After Credit. It's called After Credits. Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Yeah, so you can go and you can search any movie, and it will tell you a description of the scene, and then people vote on it, like if they liked it or whatnot. And I know that with the Batman, there's only one after credit scene, and it's not until after the credits are done. So
No
if
mid credits,
no mid credits, no during credits. So I think that's important to do that with DC. I think they need to kind of steal that page from Marvel's book and, entice the viewer a little bit.
when you were seeing No Way Home and the movie ended and people got up and left, at what point were you shaking your head violently, going, "You idiots! There's been 28 other movies. Have you not clued in yet?"
I did it like almost immediately, like just knowing like, okay, movie's over, and I know people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, that was a great movie, and maybe it might be, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, but really it's hard. It might be like a grandparents that took their grandson or granddaughter to the movie, and they're none the wiser and they left. But then shouldn't it be on the onus of the kid to be like, no, nanny, grampy, we gotta stick behind. There's definitely,
It's true.
but when you see like someone that's our age leaving, it's like, oh, you idiot.
Yeah, like, where have you been for the past 12 years?
Honestly, someone must have been in a coma since 2008, clearly.
Yeah, or they're just like, you know what? I don't want to know what's going to happen next.
I don't remember if when Iron Man came out, I can't remember if I just lucked out and happened to have waited to the end of the credits, which I don't think that would have been the case, because why would I have any reason to stay behind?
Yeah.
Or if I heard about it from this podcast I still listened to at the time. But yeah, like it's I can't remember how I came to be aware of, and it's definitely got to be online, I'm sure.
I know for Iron Man, I read an article. There's rumors of stuff happening. I think for some reason they said there's rumors going around that there's going to be an inclusion of something at the end of the movie where Nick Fury was going to be there, and for some reason they said Hilary Swank was going to be Wasp or something.
Okay.
They said, but nothing. Then like the previews for the reviewers came out and said there's nothing played there, but there's still talk of something after the credits. So then I just like, well, there's talk of it. Let's just see what happens. And then yeah, there was the infamous Avengers Initiative with Nick Fury.
That would have been his first on-screen appearance too, right?
It was.
Did the Incredible Hulk come out after Iron Man or before?
Yeah, Iron Man was in May. Hulk was in June.
Right. Okay,
And
because that's
that
when,
one they decided to move the screen, that scene up at the very end.
because that was when Iron Man came and spoke to General Ross. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the rest is history.
And the rest
As they
is
say.
history.
As they say.
Although there is apparently a alternate take of the Sam Jackson Nick Fury scene where he mentions other heroes at the time, ones that they didn't have the rights to then.
Interesting.
So you can find that on YouTube. I'll send it to you.
Hilary Swank would have been a pretty good Wasp, thinking about it. And she, I'm not sure if that was like $1 Million Baby.
I think it was
that
around the
came
same
out
time. Yeah.
around the same time, but
Yeah.
That's one thing they were bulletproof on, though, has been the casting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some.
Are there any that are a bit iffy for you?
If it was like iffy casting, it would just be like either this B-list actor that's trying to carry a C-list villain role, like Malekith.
Yeah,
and I think anybody.
They're villains, though. They've never really, except for Loki.
Yeah.
The only one that kind of irks me a little bit was Michael Douglas for Hank Pym, because I was thinking, why does it have to be that old? Like Michael Douglas is not young. You know, and if they want to, like, he's a founding member of the Avengers, and I felt like, they shouldn't. I get why they did it, because they wanted to say, like, put some backstory into history into the Avengers, but why? Anyway.
Yeah, because then they do make some changes, like Ultron coming from Tony, not coming from Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Goliath was also aged up, as it were.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he didn't really get a fair shake, I don't think. Fishburne.
No. I am excited about the new Ant-Man movie though. Just with Kane, and see how what's gonna come from it. How it's gonna set up what's happening in upcoming movies. Because I feel we'll get a lot from that. That's just my wishful thinking, though. I could be dead wrong. Could be just a dead end.
Yeah, I remember after with Guardians, and they were talking about going more cosmic with the future movies, but it seems like they're not doing that at all. They're going more, like I guess playing with all their past properties now and sticking with the multiverse, at least for the next little while.
Yeah, but maybe the multiverse could be considered cosmic because it's different worlds.
Possibly.
But yeah, Black Widow, not cosmic at all.
I don't remember that movie much at all now.
Yeah, it's a cosmic piece of shit is what it was. It really was.
I don't even mind the gender swap for Taskmaster as much. Because I feel as though
I forgot about that.
Taskmaster will be somebody else down the line. They'll probably do a Mandarin cleanup down the line. Just have somebody else, like it's a Taskmaster program or something, so anybody can be Taskmaster.
That would make sense. Yeah, Taskmaster program.
That just save Kevin Feige a lot of angry emails.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I don't quite remember. Yeah, wasn't Taskmaster the daughter of that Russian guy? Spoilers.
Yeah, the one, the one that she thought that she killed.
It wasn't Olivia Munn, was it? No.
No. What was her name? She was a Bond girl. I can't remember the one from.
That's right. Yeah, she was a Bond girl. That's right.
Olga something.
Speaking of Bond, I tried to watch GoldenEye.
I still not watched No Time to Die.
Is that the newest?
I was looking forward to that so much. Yeah,
is that the newest one?
Yeah.
Is there continuity between all of Daniel Craig's? There is. Okay.
That's the one thing that didn't happen with all like 20 some other Bond movies.
Yeah.
Craig ones continued.
Okay, because I've seen Casino Royale. I think the second one was Spectre. So I've seen that one.
So Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre was the one before the last one.
Oh wait, it was Skyfall that I saw then. Never mind. What's the one where he gets the ball, his balls whacked? Skyfall, is it?
Casino Royale.
Oh, is it Casino Royale? Shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I've only seen the first one then. Saw that happen. I was like, I'm out. That's just too much. Not even a super spy. No.
Yeah, nope.
No.
Thank you. I will see myself out.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I tried to watch GoldenEye on Friday, and I passed out. But
it's because we're talking about the game, right?
That's right. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to see it. It was okay. It was okay. What I saw of it anyway. I mean, I only got about 25 minutes in, so.
I rarely fall asleep watching movies, but there are times like I fell asleep during The Hateful Eight.
The one with Brad Pitt?
No, that was Inglourious Bastards. Hateful Eight is Kurt Russell, Sam Jackson, all the other guys from Quentin's movies. They're all stuck in a cabin in the winter.
Oh, so it's not a war movie. Okay.
No, it's not.
Way off. So you fell asleep to that because you were just bored, or was it late at night? Or
it was late at night, and it is long.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that's probably like very artsy fartsy too, right?
Well, it's Quentin Tarantino, so it's very dialogue heavy, right?
Yeah.
It's one of his less like violent ones, but there's still violence. But so it was long and it was late. And some other ones I just I'm also not one to turn movies off, but there are a few that I've turned off and like, nope.
Can't
One
do
was
it.
the last one was Tenet, just because like I have no idea what's going on. I can't hear the dialogue, and I heard that's kind of the movie. So I'll get around to finishing it sometime.
Yeah, I heard that movie was just. Well, I mean, it's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I always give Nolan a chance.
Yeah, for sure. Like Interstellar, some people hate it, other people love it. I absolutely love that movie. I love that movie so much. And it's
Still haven't got
long.
around to it.
No, you should give it a shot.
Oh, it's on there. I used to watch movies like religiously, and now I just
Hashtag
not
kids.
that I don't have the time. I don't have the time that I can dedicate for 2.5 hours. But somehow I can find 2.5 hours to watch a sitcom.
Of course, but
Go
those are digestible, quick hits, right?
Yeah, the quick hits, but I'm watching them in a row.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's Jade and I, we're rowing in the same boat because we say that all the time. Like we very rarely watch movies, but we watch TV shows all the time. And when we do watch the TV shows, we're like, okay, we get 3-4 episodes in for that night, and then same thing the next night, and which is the equivalent to a movie. Why we do it, I don't know.
It's just what we do.
I guess you could turn off the TV show or the TV show after one episode. Whereas if it's the movie, like when we start watching a movie, if we turn it off, we better see that thing through to the end, because if we turn it off anytime before it's over, we're not getting back to it. Like, you're just not gonna be like, oh, let's put the rest of that movie on. No, it doesn't happen like that.
Because then you have to remember like the first 35 that you watched 2 weeks ago. Like, remember what happened? No, I guess we're starting it again.
Or you start thinking, like I start thinking to myself, like, okay, well, what was the reason why we turned it off? Like, was it not intriguing? And I start like thinking about the movie while the movie's on. I'm not paying attention. So yeah. Just give me those quick hits. Yeah. Like a
throw on King of Queens for the 40th time.
I've never
throw on The Office. Throw on Seinfeld.
Yeah. Throw in Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Reality TV.
Been on for that long.
Yeah. 2005 was when it came out.
Like, it's one of those things where you know of it. If you don't watch it, like, you know of it. You remember it, but you can't remember that's, oh shit, that was 2005. That's still on. It always seems I've always meant to check it out. I haven't, but it just always seems like it's something that's just been there.
And they're all best friends. And if you know the
I heard the story of how like it came about too.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, like, they used to just make up their own episodes with the props that they had available to them at the time.
Yeah,
and now it's become this 17-year hit, and they're still doing it, and they're still having a good time. So good for them.
Yeah, I always wondered that. Like, you hear stories of like, how come this show ended? Well, they were on it for 11 years, and the lead guy decided he wanted to do something else, so they canceled the show. Like Cheers. Like, Ted Danson wanted to go do something else after 11 seasons, so everybody else was signed up, ready to go. The lead wants to leave, the show's done. Like, at what point are you so committed that you're just going to keep doing something you don't love anymore just so these guys get a paycheck? Or do you check out and say, I want to try something different? Like, these guys are 17 years. They're all having fun. So there's no harm in keeping it going, right?
You could say the same, I guess, for Seinfeld too. Like, Jerry didn't want to do the show anymore, and he always said that he would end it after 9 because it's his favorite number. But I can't remember if the others, like Michael Richards and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, if they were all still into continue making the series. I don't know. But I feel like, Cheers was very successful, and sure, he's your leading man, but you have such a great supporting cast that why couldn't, could you not have taken the risk and just written someone else in?
Yeah, I don't know. I never really heard the flip side to that coin.
Happened with Shelley and Kirsty. Why couldn't it happen with Dan and whoever else took over? Like, Shelley Long was only on there for like a season or two, if I remember. Like, it wasn't that long, or maybe.
Yeah, I think Rebecca was on there longer than Diane.
Yes. But
I guess
they
they decided, well, we got Kelsey Grammer locked, so let's just continue this with him, and that went on for was it 9 or maybe another 11, I think another 11 years.
TV's first extended universe. If you think about it, like, was there anything before that?
TGIF had a lot of crossovers.
Oh, did they?
Like Steve
family
Urkel was on Full House. I think he was
really?
on.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was some crossovers. ABC was good for that.
Okay, so Full House, Family Matters,
Hanging with Mr. Cooper was another one.
Yeah.
Step by Step.
Okay. So Steve
NBC kind of had that too.
Steve Urkel was on Full House?
Yeah, he was on an episode.
Oh my god, that just blew my mind. Like, I don't remember that.
Shit.
You're saying NBC?
NBC did it too. So Paul from Mad About You, an episode's revealed to have lived in the apartment that Kramer has in Seinfeld.
Oh,
also,
shit.
Lisa Kudrow played Ursula in Mad About You, who is the sister of Phoebe on Friends.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, man. I know this because we've watched all those shows recently.
That blew my mind. The Ursula, she played her sister on Mad About You.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, she had that before she got the role in Friends.
Oh, was Mad About You before Friends?
Yeah, well, they all kind of ran at the same time.
Yeah,
but it started before.
We never finished Friends. We got 7 seasons in, and then we're like, yeah, no, maybe 9, 7 or 9, because I think it went on.
You
for
got
11.
9, and there's 10.
No, it was 7.
Like,
yeah. I know, but we
that's
just
like get tackled at the goal line.
You know what it was? I think it was Chandler, like Matthew Perry, whatever season it was. Like, he just did not look healthy. He didn't, it wasn't the same. You could tell that it was starting to weigh on him, and like all of the behind the scenes issue that he was having. Like checking into rehab during the off season, and like, other characters, the other actors going off and doing movies, and you could start to see the beginning of the end with it. I felt like I was focused too much on that, and I was just not into the show anymore. But there were some episodes, like some seasons earlier on, that were absolutely hilarious. But I'd never seen an episode until we started streaming it last year. Never saw an episode of Friends.
Just wasn't your thing at the time.
No, I was a Seinfeld person.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. People were either like, you're already invested in Seinfeld, and so that's the humor you were into, right? And then you come over here, and like a lot of the humor on Friends is very sitcom cliche. A lot of the tropes are definitely in that show versus other shows, like especially Seinfeld. There's no real tropes in Seinfeld unless they're deliberately having that trope to make fun of those tropes. So yeah, I understand that. I was reverse. I grew up with Friends, and then I watched Seinfeld later, and of the two, I would pick Seinfeld any day of the week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, why did I not watch this when I was this is my brand of humor? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Why did I not pick that? Yeah.
No, because after a while, I stopped watching Friends. It was conflicting with my wrestling watching when I was way into that in mid-90s. Once SmackDown came and there was Thursday night viewing, I had to watch two shows.
Yeah, pick one.
Yeah. And then I went back after and finished that up.
Ursula was on Mad About You. Like
man.
Just thinking about that. Like, that's...
She was a waitress.
Huh. I have to tell that to Jade. Anyway.
Jade. All right, man. Give you a call, do this again sometime. Think of an outro yet?
No, I'm freaking putting too much stress into this, and getting all stressed out. And
we got to get the focus group set up, and you have to go do some testing at the Comedy Store and work out your act.
Go test the material and have the focus group report back. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna one of these days, I'm gonna put my limit though. It's got to be before episode 100.
Did you ever see I Love You, Man with Jason Segel and Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
I just feel as though if I put you on the spot, it's gonna be like him ending every conversation with them. It's like, I see a Pistol Pete. Yeah, like stuff like that. He's like, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
I said that to Jade. I'm like, should I say that? She's like, don't. I mean, no.
I'm for it.
I mean, we would. We love the show.
Yeah, Michael Scott, catch you on the flippity flip, and then try to hit his basket.
And then I'll just put like a basketball net like right there, and I'll just deliberately miss.
Yeah, but it has to be one of those hamper ones like you had as a kid.
That's right.
You throw your dirty socks and underwear in.
I throw it back, catch on the flippity flop, and all my action figures fall over, and that would be
something gets broken. You pop one of those lights that you got over there on the shelf.
Do it again next week.
Destroy more stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So until then,
that is open caller for this week. For Steve, this is Corey. Remind you, keep it casual.